3 centuries ago, a magical cataclysm shattered the world, unleashing a demonic horde upon mankind. On the brink of ruin, 10 legendary mages rose, erecting massive walls to shield the survivors. These heroes established the inherited professions, unique roles passed to one successor at a time to serve as humanity's shield. In Fengyuan City, the awakening ceremony begins as Lin Feng arrives, thanking his driver, Uncle Jiang. He gazes at the towering city and the bustling crowds gathered for the momentous day. Here, every youth awakens a class, ranging from common labor to rare, godlike power. Lin Feng watches as students desperately pray to hero statues, begging for high-tier destinies. He scoffs at a weeping boy, pleading with a maiden. It's pathetic how people chase fantasies. A buzzcut student approaches him, whispering rumors that a vacant hero inheritance slot might finally be filled this year. Lin Feng rubs his chin, eyes gleaming. This desperation is the perfect opportunity for business. Suddenly, arcane fireworks illuminate the sky, signaling the start of the trials. As students step through the portal, a genius named Gay Fei is declared an S-rank prodigy. The buzzcut boy watches with bitter envy, craving even a fraction of that mana. Seizing the moment, Lin Feng dangles a vibrant tomato, promising a solution to his jealousy. With a salesman's smirk, he introduces himself as a master spirit plant doctor. For 5 gold, this tomato grants a 5% mana boost. He reveals glowing crops, satiety-filling sweet potatoes, weight-loss cucumbers, and attack-boosting potatoes, the ultimate harvest. The crowd murmurs in disbelief, suspecting a scam, since such magical produce is unheard of. Sensing their doubt, Lin Feng creates a frenzy by offering a free sample to the boldest soul. Trembling with skepticism, the buzzcut boy takes the tomato, his face slick with sweat. He takes a bite, and instantly, golden aura explodes around him. He bellows in shock, his mana is surging, and his body feels light as a feather. The crowd stands paralyzed, witnessing the impossible miracle. Rumors fly that these are secret crops from the Extraordinary Academy, and the mood shifts. A blonde man in a suit winks at Lin Feng, loudly demanding to buy everything. The bait is taken. The crowd descends into a chaotic frenzy, trampling over each other to secure the buffs. Lin Feng watches the madness with satisfaction. He may be a lowly farmer, but his max-level crops hold divine power. His marketing was a trick, but the quality is real. Later, he counts his gold. His secret accomplice, the blonde man, approaches him in the shadows. He presents a bill for seeds and fertilizer totaling 257 gold. Lin Feng pays. He sighs, grumbling that high-grade fertilizer has once again drained his hard-earned savings. His friend calls him Brother Lin Feng, wondering why he doesn't just mass-produce these plants. Lin Feng delivers a comical slap, barking that growing magical crops isn't child's play. His friend pities the fallen genius. Lin Feng brushes off the sympathy, telling his friend to run along home. Alone, he reflects on the irony of a child prodigy becoming a mere F-rank farmer. Born to a druid and a herbalist, he chose the quiet life, far from the front lines. He values peace over glory, determined to make his mother happy. Suddenly, a stray drop of liquid hits his nose. He looks up at the clear sky in confusion, only to hear a blood-curdling scream. A body hurtles from the heavens, slamming violently onto the pavement before him. The mangled stranger, clutching broken gear, desperately reaches for his radio. The silence is broken. With terror etched on his face, the dying man screams a horrifying truth. The legendary Necromancer, Moan, has betrayed humanity to hand his inheritance to the demons. Before his warning can finish, a colossal hand of pure shadow magic descends to crush the life out of him. Lin Feng watches in sheer panic. He can't fathom why a celebrated hero would sell his soul to the demon tribe. Above them, a dark void tears open as a mocking voice ridicules the man for failing to run. From the swirling portal, Moan emerges, wreathed in suffocating dark energy. He scoffs, complaining that a wound from forbidden magic slowed his escape before revealing his twisted motive. The demons promised him an immortal body in exchange for his power. Suddenly, Moan senses another presence nearby. Trapped at a murder scene, Lin Feng tries to slip away while the traitor is distracted, but a massive claw of shadow magic lunges for him. Moan asks coldly if he gave permission to leave. The shadow entity seizes Lin Feng's throat, hoisting him into the air. He identifies the victim as Dean Yuya, deciding to use Lin Feng's blood and bones to celebrate the old man's death. Lin Feng struggles desperately, but Moan's overwhelming mana makes breaking free feel like an impossible dream. Clinging to life, Lin Feng frantically scours his mind for any skill or item that can save him from this nightmare. He remembers his farming tool mastery has peaked. He activates farming tool summoning, desperately conjuring a weapon into his hands. Gripping the handle of a simple hoe, Lin Feng waits for the perfect moment while Moan revels in his own arrogance. With a guttural roar, Lin Feng swings the tool violently, striking Moan's arm and demanding his freedom. Moan is stunned. He can't believe a mere brat with a low-tier farmer occupation actually managed to wound him. The shock forces the necromancer to let go, and Lin Feng crashes safely onto the hard ground. Lin Feng spots the energy weapon dropped by the fallen Dean. He lunges for it, knowing it's his final gamble. He pulls the trigger, unleashing a devastating beam of azure energy directly at the hovering traitor. But Moan counters effortlessly with Swirl Absorber, trapping the blast in a dark vortex. He glares down at the boy, mocking his futile resistance. Suddenly, the sky warps with dozens of magical portals. The villain realizes with alarm that a magic array dancer has cast a tracking formation to pin him down. Out of time and too weak to flee, Moan makes a desperate gamble. He will steal Lin Feng's body to escape. Moan transforms into a streak of pure darkness and charges straight for the defenseless farmer. The dark spirit slams into Lin Feng, forcibly invading his soul. As he screams in agony, a brutal war for control begins inside his mind. Moan sneers that, for such a pathetic class, the boy's innate talent is surprisingly high. He tells the young farmer to feel honored to serve as his new vessel, but Lin Feng isn't broken. He smirks defiantly, retorting that he's trained his body every single day and warns the intruder that taking it won't be easy. The villain looms over him, laughing at his pathetic resistance. He declares a low-rank occupation is trash compared to his power. In the physical world, Lin Feng's body collapses. Unable to repel the possession, he fears that his luck has finally run out this time. Even as he fades, Lin Feng spots a jagged weapon nearby and reaches out with trembling fingers. He grips the spear with desperate intensity. If he's going down, he'll drag this monster into the abyss with him. Seeing Lin Feng turn the blade toward his own heart, the dark spirit panics, screaming in confusion. Without a second thought, Lin Feng plunges the spear deep into his chest. Blood sprays as he declares he'd rather choose mutual destruction than allow a traitor to wear his skin. As darkness takes him, he thinks of his late father, hoping he won't be too disappointed. Lin Feng lies motionless. Moan's dark energy swirls within his chest, mingling sickeningly with his flowing blood. But instead of death, a blinding golden radiance erupts from his heart, incinerating the shadows. Moan's spirit is seized by terror. He stares at the light, unable to believe this lowly farmer's mana is exploding. The golden light manifests as massive, root-like tendrils of energy that surge upward, ensnaring Moan's soul. Moan screams in denial as the golden roots coil around him, binding the legendary necromancer in an inescapable grip. The magical roots tighten their hold until the dark spirit is completely cocooned and paralyzed. Powerless against the light, the cocoon shatters. Moan's essence is obliterated in a massive, holy explosion. A system notification chimes. Congratulations, you have acquired a new talent inheritance class, Necromancer. Back in the physical world, Lin Feng's eyes snap open, filled with pure shock. Lin Feng staggers to his feet, staring at his hands in pure shock. Every lethal wound has vanished. He has truly cheated death. Pure relief washes over him. His body is still his own. Moan's desperate attempt at possession was a total failure. Something feels different deep within his soul. He kneels, summoning his system interface to witness a radical evolution. His class has mutated into a unique variant, Spirit Farm Lord. His stats are insane, with strength, constitution, and luck all hitting 300. His skill tree is now a deadly hybrid. It fuses classic farming techniques with dark arts like undead affinity, undead summoning, and soul siphon. Lin Feng gapes at the holographic screen, his mind racing with possibilities. Despite being reset to level 1, his previous max-level farmer stats remain intact. He is now a beginner with the power of a titan. His mana pool has exploded in size. It seems he accidentally devoured the soul of the very villain who tried to claim him. If he keeps leveling up, his power will break every known limit for a farmer. Curious, he locks eyes on a specific skill. Undead summoning. He hesitates, gripped by a sudden chill. What if using this skill brings that monster back to life? Time for a test. Vibrant green nature energy swirls in his left hand, while dark purple necromancy flares in his right. He forces the opposing forces together. As they collide, he wonders, is this a class split, or has he gained a dual awakening? The system confirms it. He has absorbed a legendary awakener's essence. Two worlds have merged into one devastating power. Lin Feng frowns at the result. Seriously? Of all the colors, it had to be this ugly shade of yellow? He inches toward the villain's radiating remains. Is the enemy truly gone? The dark energy within him is still wild and untamed. He needs to refine this power now. If he fails, his farmer class will collapse, and his mind will be devoured by shadows. With absolute focus, he stabilizes the swirling vortex in his palm. To seal his dominance, he activates undead summoning. The villain's corpse dissolves into a shower of sparks. From the void, two powerful spirits manifest before him. Dean Yu returns as an undead sage, and He Xiao as an undead hound. Their levels are reset, but their legendary abilities remain. Suddenly, he senses an enforcement team closing in. He quickly grabs his gear, his heart pounding against his ribs. Who would believe a lowly farmer took down 2 titans? If the truth leaks, his life is as good as over. Yet, a grin touches his lips. He needs fertile land and secrecy to test his new powers and prove his father's theories right. 24 hours later, back at the family estate, the necromancer's lingering taint is impossible to ignore. He examines a stalk pulsing with violet light. These crops aren't just different, they have become something otherworldly. Raw magic surges through the soil, fueling unnatural growth. Glowing green leaves are choked by dark, dancing shadows. The stalks contort into a jagged, web-like lattice, crackling with arcs of dark purple lightning. A massive, ominous cabbage blooms, but at its heart lies a swirling, bottomless void. A bird flies too close suddenly. Black tendrils snatch it into a spiked maw. Lin Feng recoils in horror at his own creation. If anyone sees this man-eating monstrosity, they will think a demonic invasion has begun right in his backyard. Panic sets in. He frantically begins uprooting the mutated nightmare before a single soul can witness it. He stares at the bagged plant, his head spinning. How could his mana do this? Yet, amidst the fear, he sees a golden opportunity. If he masters this volatile energy, he could steer these mutations towards something far more beneficial. He strokes his chin thoughtfully. This is it. He can finally grow the high-value crops his father dreamed of to empower any class. Later that evening, a jarring emergency broadcast cuts through his favorite show. The anchor announces that He Xiao is a wanted fugitive for the murder of Dean Yu. The warning is clear. Harbor him and die. Lin Feng listens in grim silence. The authorities are hunting a ghost, a man whose very soul now resides within him. He must keep his necromancy hidden at all costs. Looking at his tools, he realizes his new servants need a cover story. One slip-up means execution. Then, it hits him a simple, brilliant lie. He will just call his undead summons farmhands. After all, a spirit farmlord needs staff, right? Later, a recruitment ad for the Extraordinary Academy catches his eye. With the demon tribe pressing the borders, the academy is desperately expanding its ranks. They are offering subsidies, elite resources, and even private estates with high-grade soil. His path is now set in stone. That academy is his sanctuary. If he plays the harmless farmlord, he can hide his lethal necromancy in plain sight. Lin Feng soon arrives at the academy's registration plaza, where the air is thick with the scent of ambition. He steps up to the desk and delivers his profile. Lin Feng, 18 years old, level 1, spirit farmlord. The interviewer sneers, adjusting his goatee. A farmlord? I've never heard of such a pathetic-sounding class. Sneering, he accuses Lin Feng of bluffing and demands a display of power. Lin Feng obliges, a vibrant green aura erupting from his palm. The interviewer recoils in disgust, mocking the lowly farmer's aura before barking for the next candidate. He warns Lin Feng to stop wasting everyone's time. Jealousy ignites among the crowd as students begin to sneer at Lin Feng. They brand his spirit farmlord title as pure trash, telling him to crawl back to his fields while kissing up to the instructor. Lin Feng remains unfazed. Calmly, he explains his class is a rare variant and requests a fair chance, confident in his mastery of the fundamentals. The interviewer scoffs, wondering what fundamentals a level 1 piece of garbage could possibly possess. He bellows for security to drag him out, but Lin Feng stands his ground, raising the official admissions guide. He cites the academy rules allowing all classes to test, threatening to report the violation of official protocol. The interviewer smirks, completely unbothered. He claims another instructor will ensure Lin Feng fails the exam regardless. Suddenly, he snatches the phone from Lin Feng's hand, leaning in with a lethal glare. He whispers a cold threat, promising the boy will regret crossing him. The surrounding students begin to murmur, sensing the instructor has finally crossed the line. Rumors swirl that Instructor Li is venting his frustration over a failed promotion onto the innocent applicants. Ignoring the gossip, Li roars at the crowd to either proceed with the test or get out of his sight. Silencing the mockery with his composure, Lin Feng walks toward the entrance of the examination grounds. Behind him, Li sneers through a cloud of smoke, shouting that it's not too late to beg for forgiveness and quit. Lin Feng ignores the taunt, offering a sharp thanks for the guidance before stepping through the shimmering portal. Inside, a labyrinth of massive tree roots awaits. Lin Feng maneuvers with feline agility, landing silently on a giant branch to scout the area. He decides to hunt the horned rabbits, but not through traditional combat. It was time for some industrialized farming. Eschewing the one-by-one hunt, Lin Feng retrieves a jar of concentrated carrot essence from his pack. Its scent is potent enough to attract even high-level beasts. He scatters the glowing powder across a nearby clearing. A pink-horned rabbit instantly emerges, drawn by the irresistible aroma. With the trap set, Lin Feng summons his 2 undead generals, the spirits of Yu Ya, the undead sage, and He Xiao, the undead hound, materialize in obsidian armor. Lin Feng tells them that waiting for individual rabbits is far too slow. He orders them to annihilate every rabbit attracted to the scent, provided they remain unseen. The two entities vanish into a blur of motion. He Xiao, clad in purple armor, unleashes a blade of pure darkness, cleaving through rabbits with lethal precision. Meanwhile, Yu Ya traps dozens more within floating spheres of magical water, witnessing the carnage. Even Lin Feng is stunned by their terrifying efficiency. Despite being level 1, these former masters are monstrously powerful. Suddenly, a ringing bell signals the end of the examination. Li demands all candidates present their rabbit horns for inspection. The atmosphere turns grim as the results are tallied. He ruthlessly fails anyone with only a few horns, frustrated by the mysterious scarcity of the beasts. He praises a student with 4 horns as lucky, noting that most applicants returned completely empty-handed. When Lin Feng steps forward, Li's sneer returns, mocking the trash for likely failing to find a single horn. Lin Feng simply smiles, a brilliant green magic circle erupting from his outstretched hand. A literal avalanche of rabbit corpses thunders out, burying Li and his desk beneath a mountain of pink fur. Li and his assistant shriek in terror as they are swallowed by the massive heap of carcasses. Grinning, Lin Feng notes there are exactly 500 horns here, playfully asking if the instructor wishes to count them. Li crawls out, sputtering with rage that such a feat is impossible, and accusing the boy of blatant cheating. A booming voice suddenly cuts through the chaos, scolding Li for bullying a child as an elderly man with a monocle appears. Li freezes, recognizing him as the director. The old man remarks he had to step in before his pets were entirely wiped out. Casting a stern glare at Li, the director overrules the decision and officially declares that Lin Feng has passed. Lin Feng bows respectfully, offering his sincere gratitude to the director for his unwavering fairness. The director leans in, peering through his monocle, noting that Lin Feng feels strangely familiar. Lin Feng freezes, a cold sweat breaking out. As he walks away, his heart hammers with intense anxiety. He wonders if his secret necromantic power has been exposed. But then, the director asks about his connection to Professor Lin. Lin Feng breathes a sigh of relief, realizing the director was merely curious about his lineage, not his forbidden secrets. With a polite smile, Lin Feng confirms his father is indeed Lin Ye, curious if the director recognized the name. Instantly, the director's intimidating pressure evaporates. Beaming at his old friend's son, he offers to personally handle the boy's enrollment. Suddenly, a sharp cough from a pink-haired woman in glasses cuts through the warm atmosphere, reminding the director that his blatant favoritism is being witnessed by the entire student body and staff. Bewildered whispers fill the crowd at the director's sudden mood swing, but he just laughs it off as a casual joke. Before departing, the director calls Lin Feng nephew and promises a VIP tour, making his special treatment crystal clear to everyone. As the director vanishes into a whirlwind of magic, Lin Feng's gut twists with a sense of unease, finding the powerful man far too unreliable and sketchy. With the director gone, the pink-haired instructor steps forward to take command. She directs the successful candidates to follow her, while offering a cold word of encouragement to those who failed today. Meanwhile, deep within the Academy's high-security investigation room, a grim meeting of the minds is underway. A scarred man named Tu Ka points to the late Dean Yu Ya and the villain He Xiao, theorizing a fatal secret. While it seems the two men killed each other, the investigator suspects a dark mastermind pulled the strings from the shadows. He believes someone stole He Xiao's legacy. To find the truth, they must hunt down anyone possessing necromancy talents. An annoyed, blue-haired official at the table scoffs at Tu Ka, accusing him of making baseless claims just to climb the ranks. Enraged, Tu Ka slams the table and vows to find proof alone. Once he storms out, the remaining staff mutter about how Tu Ka, a puppet of the Duke, is impossible to control. The director suddenly manifests through a gust of wind, completely indifferent to the investigator's dramatic exit. He declares the academy is for training elites, not politics, and issues a cold-blooded order to execute the villain, He Xiao. Chillingly, he demands that anyone wielding necromancy must be eliminated immediately, unknowingly signing Lin Feng's death warrant. Later, at the academy's high-stakes retest mission hall, a massive azure portal hums with power as the pink-haired instructor steps forward to announce the final trial. The mission is brutal. Clear a level 5 demonic beast lair within a strict 3-hour window. Panic erupts among the students. For these rookies, a level 5 dungeon is a suicide mission with an impossible time limit. Smiling calmly, the instructor notes they can form 5-man squads to increase their slim chances of survival. The hall descends into chaos as students desperately scramble to find high-level carries to drag them through the trial. Amidst the frenzy, Lin Feng stands in silence, eyes fixed on his system interface until a shadow falls over him. A young woman with pink hair buns, a level 7 magic user, approaches him with a confident stride. Impressed by his earlier performance, she invites him to team up, but Lin Feng carefully weighs the offer. A level 7 ally is tempting, but the risk of exposing his forbidden necromancy to a teammate is far too high. He politely declines, claiming he prefers to work alone. Though surprised, she wishes him luck as he heads for the desk. The instructor stares in disbelief, asking if he's truly insane enough to enter a level 5 dungeon completely solo. She hands him the scroll, realizing he's after the legendary Black Bear's Gall, a reward reserved only for solo survivors. "Don't throw your life away," she warns. Lin Feng just nods, his confidence unshakable as he takes the scroll. At the lair's entrance, a swirling vortex waits inside a stone maw, guarded by elite security and men in suits. 2 guards block his path, demanding to see his team. Lin Feng simply replies that he is entering alone. Shocked, they warn him that a solo run is a one-way ticket to the afterlife and urge him to find partners. Unmoved, Lin Feng presents his mission scroll, pointing out that the rules allow for his solitary descent into the dungeon. The guard's eyes widen. He isn't just brave, he's hunting for the rarest solo reward the Academy offers. They admit he has guts, though they secretly question if he has the raw strength to back it up. Stepping aside, they wish him luck as he vanishes into the abyss, a dark cavern littered with eerie purple eggs. Lin Feng emerges from the light, calm and focused, just as 2 massive spiky lizards crawl from the shadows. Now at level 6, these level 3 and 4 beasts are nothing more than a warm-up for what's to come. With a thought, he summons his spirits, who tear through the monsters instantly. But ahead, the enemy density is staggering. He spots a colossal nest teeming with thousands of glowing red eyes. To face this horde, he needs a new strategy. Lin Feng triggers his undead summoning, and purple lightning cracks the ground as the lizard corpses begin to rise. The fallen beasts stir once more, their corpses ignited by spectral blue flames and abyssal energy. Like a grand commander, Lin Feng signals his new legion to charge, sparking a brutal clash of monsters. Lin Feng and his elite spirits observe the carnage, noting these mindless soldiers only follow basic, lethal commands. While watching the slaughter, Lin Feng realizes these summons consume significantly less mana than expected. Ever the pragmatist, he wonders if they could handle farm work before ordering his elite spirits to attack. How? The spectral hound asserts his dominance by cleaving a massive monster in half with a single strike. Meanwhile, the undead sage Yu Ya begins to channel a surge of ancient, chilling magic. He weaves a spell entombing several beasts in water spheres. While Lin Feng's mind drifts back to farming, he suddenly realizes a crucial difference between simple spirits and his new undead summons. Humanoid undead retain their past intelligence and skills, making them perfect for future complex agricultural labor. Thanks to his army's ruthless efficiency, a system notification announces Lin Feng has reached level 7. Encircled by his flickering minions, Lin Feng praises their terrifying speed in purging the entire area. He presses deeper into the gloom, reaching the dungeon's massive boss chamber in just 30 minutes. Inside, heavy iron chains groan under immense tension as a colossal bear beast roars in primal fury. Confronted by the boss, Lin Feng smirks fearlessly, eager to test the full scale of his military might. He takes command, ordering Hao to initiate a direct assault, while Yu Ya cripples the beast with curses. He directs his lesser minions to swarm the beast's eyes and joints, overwhelming it from every direction. While his summons do the heavy lifting, Lin Feng relaxes on a picnic mat, snacking on mana berries. As the battle reaches its violent crescendo, the spectral hound Hao prepares a final, decisive move. He weaves through the beast's chains, gathering dark energy to unleash a single, devastating, killing blow. The strike connects with a thunderous explosion, completely vaporizing the dungeon boss in a flash of mana. With the boss slain, the system chimes level 8 achieved. Lin Feng walks over to inspect the rare loot. He retrieves the rare Black Bear's Gall, the prestigious prize for a successful solo clear. Unimpressed, he grumbles that a 10-point constitution boost is nothing compared to his own magical crops. The system calculates his dual rewards as both farmer and necromancer, manifesting 2 ornate chests before him. A predatory grin spreads across Lin Feng's face as he realizes dual occupations mean double the loot. He wonders if this exploit applies to his harvests before stepping out of the portal, looking completely unfazed. Nearby, exhausted and bloodied students stare in utter disbelief, unable to fathom he cleared it alone. Driven by envy, they angrily accuse him of hiding, claiming it's impossible to survive without a single scratch. Ignoring the noise, Lin Feng calmly approaches the podium and presents his mission scroll to the instructor. She unfurls the parchment, revealing a glowing green seal that confirms the mission's absolute success. The instructor stands frozen in shock, having witnessed a student achieve a feat she deemed impossible. In the face of her stunned silence, Lin Feng simply offers a polite, effortless, and confident smile. The pink-haired instructor accepts the scroll but begins to lecture him with a stern, worried expression. She warns that soloing such a dungeon was reckless, as his death would be a disaster for them. Lin Feng plays the role of a humble student, nodding politely and assuring her he understands her concern. Satisfied, she directs him toward the final interview, urging him to rest after such a draining trial. As Lin Feng exits, he passes a glass wall, unaware of 3 students watching him with predatory eyes. Back in the office, the instructor adjusts her spectacles, letting out a heavy, thoughtful sigh. She mistakenly assumes he barely survived, while Lin Feng strolls down a quiet, sun-dappled academy path. Suddenly, his instincts scream of danger as 3 students lurk behind the trees, planning a cowardly ambush. Lin Feng halts. Without even looking back, deadly mana begins to swirl around his palm. Hidden in the brush, the 3 ambushers feel a sudden, inexplicable chill of hesitation. They whisper frantically, convinced he must be exhausted and vulnerable despite his solo dungeon clear. Blinded by greed, they burst from the shadows with a roar, ordering Lin Feng to surrender his rewards. Lin Feng turns slowly with a bored look on his face. He calmly asks if they were actually shouting at him. The 3 bullies surround him, their magic already crackling to life. They sneer, calling his recent victory pure luck. They demand he hand over the demonic bear gall and that precious skill scroll immediately. Know your place, lowly farmer. They spit with disdain. Lin Feng simply scratches his cheek, looking more puzzled than afraid. He wonders aloud why, of all people, they chose to target him. One bully with protruding buck teeth leans in, uncomfortably invading his personal space. He snarls, asking if Lin Feng is faking his ignorance. They explain their greed. The demonic bear gall is a rare treasure that permanently boosts constitution by 10. To them, such a legendary item is a complete waste on a mere farmer. A system notification flashes in Lin Feng's mind, confirming the gall grants 10 constitution. However, he realizes his own spirit watermelons provide the exact same boost. He looks at the trio with a mix of pity and genuine amusement. They're risking expulsion for a treasure no better than the fruit he grows effortlessly in his backyard. But then, the confrontation takes a sudden turn. Deciding to have some fun, Lin Feng holds out the glowing bear gall. "Is this what you're so desperate for?" he asks playfully. Blinded by pure greed, the buck-toothed student lunges forward to seize the prize. He demands Lin Feng surrender it now, but before his fingers can touch it, a violent explosion of fire erupts between them. The searing heat forces the bullies to dive backward to avoid the flames. As the smoke clears, a girl with pink hair buns stands tall, shielding Lin Feng. Leveling her magic staff at the thugs, she scolds them fiercely. She warns that private duels are strictly forbidden and could lead to their disqualification. But the bully leader remains completely unfazed. He recognizes her as Ai Ling and tells her to stay out of it. Ai Ling glares back, declaring she won't stand by and watch them bully the weak. She twirls her staff, summoning a vortex of swirling fire magic. Her ultimatum is simple: leave now, or she reports them all. The leader just smirks, unimpressed by her threat. He sneers that she won't get the chance to report anything if she's busy protecting a useless farmer. If she wants to play hero, they'll just have to beat her down too. With a roar, the 3 thugs draw their swords and axes, charging toward both Ai Ling and Lin Feng. Lin Feng watches from behind with a detached gaze. He calculates that Ai Ling, a level 7, should be more than enough to handle these weaklings on her own. Watching the trio rush in, Ai Ling curses their cowardly and dirty tactics. She turns to suggest they team up and fight together. To her utter disbelief, she sees Lin Feng is already sprinting away in the opposite direction. As he makes his grand escape, Lin Feng tosses the demonic bear gall high into the air. Ai Ling catches the fleshy item by reflex, and Lin Feng sends a quick wink her way. He shouts a thank you for the help and declares the treasure is hers, effectively making her the new target. Ai Ling stands frozen in confusion, realizing she's been played. Seeing the gall in her hands, the bullies shift their bloodlust entirely onto her. She mentally screams that instead of being a hero, she's just become the victim of a robbery. Later, Lin Feng relaxes in a restroom with a towel. He examines the looted skill scroll, originally thinking it was a total dud. He rests his chin on his hand, deep in thought, until a realization about his dual classes hits him. Testing his theory, he channels both his green nature mana and purple necromancy into the scroll. The experiment is a resounding success. A system chime announces he has mastered a new skill, special cultivation. Lin Feng scans the description, his eyes widening with interest. This beginner-level skill allows him to grow his undead summons like plants using mana and materials, raising their quality. A wide grin spreads across his face as he realizes the scroll's true value. It required 2 opposing types of mana to activate something only he can achieve. Eager to test his new power, he summons his entire undead squad, from the lizards to his elite generals. He triggers special cultivation, and vibrant green energy flows from his fingertips into his skeletal servants. The transformation is instantaneous. Black Eagle's status screen flickers as his level jumps straight from 6 to 8. Beside him, the undead sage Yu Ya surges from level 6 to 8, his blue aura burning brighter than ever. The massive demonic horned bear receives the most explosive boost, skyrocketing from level 7 to 9. Even the lowly lizards evolve, reaching level 7 in a heartbeat. Lin Feng smiles, satisfied with his growing army. The results aren't bad, he mutters. His two elite generals, He Xiao and Yu Ya, loom behind him, radiating an overwhelming and oppressive power. Yet, despite the massive power-up, Lin Feng's expression suddenly turns serious. Slumping onto a couch, he lets out a heavy, weary sigh. His concern isn't about the coming battles, but something much more domestic. He desperately needs new farmland. He can't risk ruining his family's fields with his dark experiments. Lin Feng strolls out of the rest area, looking completely unfazed and relaxed. He immediately crosses paths with Ying, the girl he played like a fiddle earlier. Instead of offering an apology, he casually greets her and mentions the demonic bear, Gao. With a smug smirk, he admits that handing over that item was no accident. Ying grips the package, her face a mask of pure shock. She stammers that the item is legendary in value, unable to believe he just gave it away. Lin Feng merely gazes back with half-closed eyes, feigning total ignorance of her dramatic reaction. He walks off, baffled that people treat such garbage like treasure when his own watermelons are far superior. Ying is left behind, utterly speechless. She stutters in disbelief, wondering if her ears deceived her. She feels deeply insulted that he dared to call her hard-earned reward total trash. Seeking a private spot for his next experiment, Lin Feng ventures deep into the wilderness. He finds a secluded grove, ensuring no prying eyes are watching. Once certain he is alone, he activates his unique and forbidden cultivation technique. Eerie energy swirls in his palms as he wonders how this undead skill will affect living flora. He directs the dark magic toward a nearby plant. The plant twists violently, mutating into a horrific carnivorous beast with jagged teeth. Lin Feng just stares at the monstrosity with a bored expression. He sighs in disappointment, noting it looks just like the mutations back on his farm. Suddenly, he freezes as the experiment begins to react. To his utter amazement, the mutated specimen begins to swell, reaching a massive and towering size. Lin Feng watches, stunned, as the giant plant uproots itself and begins to walk. He realizes his skill literally brings crops to life as mobile plant monsters. Meanwhile, the investigator Tu Ka leaps through the forest canopy, tracking a massive surge on his spirit energy detector. He lands on a high branch, a confident smirk on his face. He is certain he has finally cornered the elusive necromancer's aura. Tu Ka drops to the forest floor and brushes past Lin Feng on the trail. Lin Feng notices him but continues walking with calm indifference. However, Tu Ka stops in his tracks and spins around, grabbing Lin Feng's shoulder to detain him. Noticing Lin Feng's humble attire, Tu Ka identifies him as a mere farmer. He sneers with disdain, asking if he has seen anything unusual. Convinced a peasant is no threat, Tu Ka's gaze is filled with pure revulsion, clearly looking down on such a low-ranking occupation. He aggressively demands to know if any suspicious individuals are nearby. Lin Feng strikes a thoughtful pose and claims he has indeed seen someone strange. Tu Ka leans in eagerly, asking where. With a deadpan expression, Lin Feng points a finger directly at Tu Ka's nose. He flatly implies that Tu Ka is the only weirdo around. Tu Ka's face turns red, exploding with fury at being mocked by someone he considers trash. He screams that he is an elite of the Sunwheel Academy and the Iron Lion Duke's nephew. Unable to handle the humiliation, Tu Ka vows to kill the student for his insolence. His fist ignites with scorching flames as he swings a deadly punch at Lin Feng's head. In the heart of the forest, the confrontation turns lethal. Consumed by rage, Tu Ka transforms into a gargantuan werewolf wreathed in green energy, promising to make Lin Feng suffer for his mockery. Lin Feng simply crosses his arms to brace against the shockwave of the transformation force. Even then, he remains unnervingly calm. His eyes show he is completely unimpressed, thinking he could crush this elite with one hand. In his beastly form, Tu Ka lunges with a condensed ball of mana glowing in his claws, ready for the kill. Lin Feng intercepts the strike with a lightning-fast kick, telling Tu Ka to taste his specialty. It is revealed he used Monk's Hood, a farm plant corrupted by death mana. He had ground the plant into a fine, paralyzing powder. Tu Ka inhales the toxic cloud from the bag. Lin Feng just kicked into his face. The effect is immediate. The massive beast staggers, his vision blurring as he wonders why his legendary strength has suddenly vanished. Lin Feng casually picks his nose, explaining that it is just a common botanical powder. A sinister green aura flickers around him as he mocks Tu Ka, declaring that plant knowledge is the true power of a farmer. He then drives a devastating punch into the weakened beast's jaw. The fight ends in absolute and total humiliation for the investigator. Tu Ka is left stripped to his underwear and bound tightly to a tree. Lin Feng strolls away, leaving him to rot while mocking his defeat to a simple farmer. Realizing he is running late, Lin Feng sprints toward the auditorium for his final interview. He arrives at the prestigious academy just as the announcement echoes, calling all candidates to assemble. As he weaves through the crowd, he hears the students whispering, calling him a coward who hides behind women and doubting his solo dungeon run. Lin Feng ignores the noise, scanning the room for threats. He spots several level 5 elites, but remains completely confident in his own edge. Suddenly, Ying, the pink-haired girl, catches up to him. She smiles and offers a paper bag, trying to return the treasure he gave her earlier. Lin Feng flatly refuses the offer. He tells her to keep the useless junk and walks away, casually snacking on a slice of watermelon. The other students watch in awe, as they realize even his simple fruit provides incredible temporary buffs. Lin Feng can't help but wonder why they obsess over a demonic bear, when his own crops are on an entirely different level. Inside the hall, the mutual selection process begins. The director checks his list and calls out the first candidate, a student named Shi. A young man with a buzz cut stands tall, introducing himself as a level 6 warrior with the Earth attribute. To prove his worth, Xian summons a massive mechanical suit of stone armor. A hulking instructor, a level 44 Earth berserker, is impressed and offers to mentor Xian, who eagerly accepts. The director continues the roster, finally calling out the name of the next student, Lin Feng. Emerald energy flares as his status is announced. Level 8. Spirit Farmlord. His high level sparks an immediate debate. One instructor marvels at his level for his age, but another dismisses him as a simple farmer. The muscular instructor scoffs that the academy trains warriors, not cannon fodder, despite Lin Feng's excellent test scores. To settle the dispute, the director adjusts his monocle and proposes a combat assessment for the boy. The other instructors agree, while the Earth Berserker laughs, indifferent to the outcome of the trial. The director asks Lin Feng if he will take the test, warning that without combat potential, fighting demons on the front lines is a meaningless sacrifice. Lin Feng looks down, calculating his risks. His raw combat ability is low, and he must fight without revealing his secret necromancer powers. He smiles and accepts. The auditorium center is cleared for an arena. Lin Feng faces the instructor as the students watch from a distance. The Earth Berserker grins, explaining the rule. Lin Feng must last 5 minutes against him to prove his talent. Suddenly, the instructor unleashes a massive surge of golden energy, revealing the true weight of his power. The sheer pressure of his aura forces students to their knees, terrified by the level 40 warrior's strength. Lin Feng is pushed back but remains standing. Onlookers are shocked he seems completely unaffected by the pressure. Impressed, the instructor praises his grit and tells him to attack with full strength. Lin Feng stabilizes himself. He acknowledges the pressure is powerful but knows he can handle it. He raises his hand to summon his servants. As he casts, he reveals his strategy. Wrap his undead summons in nature mana to mask their dark aura. A massive leafy creature appears. No one would suspect this cabbage-like bear is actually a monstrous undead servant. The disguised beast let out a thunderous roar wreathed in vibrant green energy. Fooled by the nature mana, the instructor assumes a rare variant class and draws his dual jagged blades for battle. The cabbage bear lunges forward as the instructor prepares to intercept the massive summon. The leafy beast charges across the arena with terrifying, explosive speed. The instructor meets the charge head-on, clashing blades against the bear's paw. He screams with battle-maddened joy. His blades become a golden blur, repeatedly slashing the bear and sending magical leaves flying like shrapnel. Despite the damage, the bear stands firm. The director praises the creature's loyalty as it refuses to vanish. The instructor is surprisingly agile, evading the bear's heavy attacks while striking back with lethal force. The director watches critically from the sidelines, wondering if the veteran instructor, Old G, is struggling against a student. Meanwhile, Lin Feng remains unbothered. He knows his undead feel no pain, so fatal wounds are just scratches fixed with mana. The instructor begins to sweat, realizing he is losing face in front of the entire academy. Admitting Lin Feng's talent, he gets serious. He smirks, promising to pay for the summon he's about to kill. Activating his bloodthirst skill, the instructor lunges forward, plunging his glowing blade deep into the cabbage bear. The final, fatal strike shatters the summon into green light as it disappears from the arena. With the creature gone, the instructor crosses his arms and laughs, basking in his smug victory. He mocks Lin Feng, but the boy play-acts his devastation, wiping fake tears to maintain his cover. However, the victory is short-lived. Lin Feng's expression turns ice-cold as green energy surges around him once more. The instructor is shocked by the change, wondering if the boy's grief was so intense it shut down his emotions. Suddenly, the earth trembles as massive, thorned vines erupt from the ground at Lin Feng's feet. The vines lash out and bind the instructor tightly. He struggles, yelling that Lin Feng is playing dirty. The duel reaches a stalemate as Lin Feng's vines trap the veteran warrior in place. Refusing to lose, the instructor shatters the vines with golden energy. Suddenly, The director steps forward with a terrifying glare. He commands them to stop. With a wave, blue energy separates them, ending the assessment instantly. The director approves of Lin Feng, officially declaring him qualified to join the prestigious academy. However, he adds that all nature-type instructors are away at war, so no one is available to teach him. With the trial concluded, Lin Feng asks the director if his cultivation resources are still coming. The director nods, confirming his standard allowance is secured. But there's more. The director adds that due to his stellar performance, he's earned one special request. The director waits, expecting a plea for legendary gear. Meanwhile, Lin Feng realizes that securing his freedom and resources is the ultimate victory. To the director's utter shock, Lin Feng cheerfully asks for a plot of land. The old man can only stare in confusion. He demands an explanation, unable to fathom why a top student would choose dirt over high-grade weapons. Lin Feng just grins. As a spirit farm lord, he's powerless without a field to grow his crops. Convinced by the logic, the director grants him a training wasteland west of the city, telling him to reach out if he needs anything else. Elsewhere on the academy grounds, the grueling assessment continues for the remaining students. Inside the administration building, a heavy door stands marked as the principal's office. Inside, a man reviews Lin Feng's file, intrigued by the spirit farm lord occupation. Suddenly, the pink-haired instructor bursts in, breathless. Addressing him as principal, she claims to have urgent news. She slides a tablet across his desk containing a grim report. It's about Tuka, the investigator Lin Feng recently fought. He's been found brutally murdered, his chest pierced and marked by dark magic. Staff confirm a necromancer's handiwork. Now, the fear is real. A dark mage has infiltrated the academy. Following a map, Lin Feng navigates a secluded forest path until he reaches the desolate West City training grounds. He surveys the barren woods, confirming this is his new domain. He activates the land deed, and a green magical contract glows in his palm. A system notification chimes, confirming his exact location. Fenyuan City, West Training Land 100 mu owned by the Academy. He now has a 1-year lease protected by a repulsion barrier to keep intruders out. Lin Feng grumbles that a mere 1-year lease is incredibly stingy, but he figures it's standard, since most students are shipped off to the battlefield after their first year anyway. Shaking off his complaints, he spreads his arms wide. With 100 mu to himself, he finally feels like a true spirit farm lord. He points toward the sky, channeling his necromancy to tear open summoning rifts. His entire undead workforce begins to emerge. Out step his elite spirits, Wu Ya and He Xiao, followed by his bear and lizard minions. With a smirk, he orders his army to transform this wasteland. The undead labor begins immediately. He Xiao, the undead hound, uses his lethal claws to violently till the frozen earth. Wu Ya, the undead sage, weaves water magic to fell trees and irrigate the soil in one fluid motion. The massive undead bear drags a heavy plow, while smaller spirits scatter seeds, turning terrifying monsters into the ultimate farmhands. As his minions toil, Lin Feng kicks back on a lounge chair with sunglasses and a slice of watermelon. Magic really does make life easy. Suddenly, a pale, clawed hand taps his shoulder, snapping him out of his break. He lowers his shades, wondering if they've finished already. He's genuinely impressed by their initiative, surprised they'd report back without being summoned. But then he hears a strange, awkward chuckle. He turns to see Wu Ya, the undead sage, scratching his head with an eerie, human-like confusion. Lin Feng sighs, realizing the laugh was just a mindless reflex. Expecting a complex consciousness from the dead was clearly asking too much. He turns his back, ignoring the strange interaction. Behind him, the undead sage continues to stare into nothingness. A stiff, artificial smile remains frozen on Wu Ya's face. Later, Lin Feng moves inside his greenhouse to inspect his special crops. His system interface reveals that even the unripe plants provide permanent buffs, including life, attack, and constitution points. Lin Feng beams with joy. While others suffer through bitter cultivation, he gains god-tier strength just by eating his veggies. But his smile fades as he realizes the sheer potential of this power. If he could mass-produce these crops, the entire demon tribe would be rendered completely powerless. Knowing he can't grow these openly, he decides to hide his greenhouse behind a field of ordinary crops. 3 days later, the farm is booming. Shovels bite into the earth as the potato harvest begins. Lin Feng carefully instructs his undead army on how to dig without damaging the produce. Watching his monster minions work the fields, Lin Feng is more than satisfied with their incredible planting speed. Suddenly, Lin Feng's eyes widen in shock. He shouts for a minion to stop after spotting an undead lizard secretly devouring a fresh potato. Lin Feng glares at the lizard, which actually looks back with a hint of genuine guilt. A blue system screen flickers to life. The undead lizard has spiked to level 6, gaining massive bone density and defense. Lin Feng silently analyzes the data. Just one potato did all that? He realizes his undead summons can also evolve using his magical crops. Intrigued, he begins a series of experiments, recording every effect these crops have on his growing army. That night, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes watches from afar. A blue-haired man in tactical gear lurks on a rooftop, observing the farm. These strange new structures weren't here during his last scout. Something is definitely wrong. With an arrogant sneer, the intruder unsheathes his blade. He mocks the greenhouse's fragile walls, confident he can slice through them like paper. Peering through the glass, he spots Lin Feng fast asleep in a hammock. Is this lone guard a trap? Suddenly, a sharp beeping cuts through the silence. Panic surges through him as he looks down. He just stepped on something he shouldn't have. He lunges away just as the earth erupts. The blast nearly catches him as he skids violently across the roof. The culprit? A potato mine, a deceptively cute creature that chirps right before blowing up. The assassin twists midair, barely evading the initial inferno. He sticks the landing with a cocky smirk. A low-level weakling like this is no match for his skills. His confidence shatters as the ground begins to rumble. Dozens of potato mines surge from the earth, surrounding him. Sweat beads on his forehead as he curses these bizarre monsters. A massive chain reaction ignites as the mines detonate one after another. A blinding flash consumes the entire rooftop. As the smoke clears, a glowing green sapling suddenly bursts from the wreckage. Magical energy flares as the sapling transforms. It rapidly weaves into a lethal feminine figure made of twisting vines. The nature spirit radiates overwhelming power. Her eyes burn with a haunting purple and green glow. She fixes a deadly gaze on the intruder, her aura suffocatingly sharp. The assassin is hurled back by the magical shockwave, cursing his luck. He hits the ground, battered and covered in grime. He grumbles, regretting this mission just to gain the Grand Duke's favor. Refusing to back down, he wipes blood from his lip and grips his dagger tight. He decides to tear through the nature spirit to end this nightmare. In the dead of night, the assassin desperately slashes at the magical vines closing in. Confusion sets in mid-battle. He senses a distinct undead aura from these nature beasts. This combination should be impossible. A memory resurfaces. A demon tribe bishop had sent him to Fengguan City to track down Hao, a necromancer who vanished after their pact. The pieces finally click together. This farm must be Hao Xiao's secret hiding place. He navigates the crops with pure disdain. He assumes Hao betrayed their race just to practice some forbidden art here. Deciding these plants aren't worth his time, the assassin vanishes back into the shadows. Finding Hao is the priority, not dying in this trap. The next morning, peace seemingly returns to the farm. Lin Feng heads to the fields, hoe in hand and feeling satisfied. He recalls finishing the fertilization of most seeds just yesterday. Suddenly, he freezes in his tracks. His hoe clatters to the dirt as his heart sinks. He stands before a massive, smoking crater. Despair washes over him as he stares at his ruined greenhouse. Before he can even mourn, a colossal shadow looms over him from above. His sorrow vanishes, replaced by sharp alertness as a powerful presence nears. A black dragon descends from the heavens, carrying two figures in official uniforms. It's the enforcement team. Lin Feng's mind races, wondering why the authorities have come to his farm. Their detectors go haywire. The demonic energy is coming from right here. They eye the sudden changes in this wasteland with deep suspicion. They try to force their way in, but the system denies them. The land is legally leased. An officer verifies the lease but remains wary of potential demons. He signals through the blue barrier, identifying them as the enforcement team. Lin Feng stares back nervously, his heart pounding. Why are the authorities here now of all times? The officer explains their sensors picked up demonic energy on his property. He politely requests Lin Feng to deactivate the barrier for a full inspection. Lin Feng puts on his best act of innocence. He questions how demonic energy could exist on land he just rented. But another officer snaps, demanding to know why a mere farmer is stalling. This new officer, Haru, flares a fiery aura. He reveals an investigator was recently murdered by a demon, making this site a prime suspect. He glares at Lin Feng with glowing orange eyes. He flatly accuses him of being a spy for the demon tribe. Under the weight of that deadly accusation, Lin Feng stands silent. Sweat drips down his face as he realizes how grave the situation has become. Outside the barrier of the West City training wastelands, the tension is suffocating. Haru roars at Lin Feng, demanding the spy surrender immediately. His partner, a bespectacled officer, tries to de-escalate the situation. He warns Haru not to be so reckless. Yet, he admits Lin Feng is suspicious given the demonic energy and Tuka's recent death. Taking a calmer approach, the bespectacled officer asks Lin Feng to cooperate and open the gate. Lin Feng knows he can't let them see the undead army hidden within. He needs to drive them away without sparking a fight. He plays the victim card, looking heartbroken. He laments that people only see him as a lowly farmer. He claims they are pinning a crime on an innocent man just for wanting a quiet life. Will his acting be enough? The bespectacled officer's eyes soften with pity as he rests a hand on Haru's shoulder, calling the boy's situation truly miserable. This patronizing sympathy only stokes the fire of Haru's burning rage. He screams that anyone can put on a pathetic act and refuses to yield an inch. Losing all control, Haru's fist erupts with a blinding golden radiance as he lunges at Lin Feng to force his hand. He drives a devastating palm strike directly into the boy's chest with a thunderous impact. Yet, Lin Feng remains anchored to the spot, completely unmoved. Haru's confusion quickly spirals into a cold, paralyzing panic. He suddenly realizes his massive constitution stat made the blow feel like nothing, nearly exposing that he is far from an ordinary farmer. Knowing he must maintain his cover, Lin Feng decides to sell the act and throws himself violently to the ground. Haru stares at his own trembling hand and then at the fallen student, demanding to know how he survived such a lethal strike. Doubling down on the performance, Lin Feng looks up through eyes filled with feigned agony, accusing the officers of torturing a confession out of him. Seeing a vibrant green aura radiating from the boy, another officer sharply rebukes Haru. He explains that this is pure nature mana, an energy demons utterly loathe, proving the boy could never be a spy. The officer with glasses helps Lin Feng to his feet, offering a sincere apology for the chaotic misunderstanding. He promises to officially clear the boy's name in their final report. Having successfully played them all, Lin Feng offers a warm smile and thanks the officer, praising him as a truly just official. The officer humbly insists he is merely doing his duty, while Haru, unable to contain his simmering resentment, bellows at Lin Feng once more. He raises a trembling fist, prepared to strike again in a blind fury. However, his partners instantly intervene to block the blow, preventing him from committing a catastrophic mistake. Haru glares at his comrades with murderous intent, teeth grinding in frustration, before finally being forced to back down. Realizing the investigation has reached a dead end, the officers take to the skies and vanish. Alone at last, Lin Feng watches them disappear into the horizon. He now understands that a peaceful life on the farm is a dream, and he requires overwhelming power to protect his sanctuary. Suddenly, a shimmering magical paper crane manifests before him. As Lin Feng walks back, the crane follows closely, carrying an urgent summons from the Academic Affairs Office. It commands his presence at the Academy training grounds tomorrow morning for a mandatory freshman ability test and ranking battle. The crane dissolves into nothingness. Lin Feng lets out a heavy sigh, lamenting how difficult it is to live a quiet, simple life. High above on a distant cliff, two powerful figures watch Lin Feng's every move from the shadows. A woman senses the farm's pulsating energy and exclaims that the nature mana is incredibly pure and majestic. She questions the man beside her if this boy is truly just a simple farmer. The man, revealed to be the Academy's principal, admits his uncertainty, noting the system only identifies him as a spirit farm lord. The principal playfully teases her, asking if a level 50 nature archmage like herself is finally impressed by a young boy's raw talent. Though she suspects Lin Feng hides deep secrets, she confirms his pure mana clears him of all suspicion, as demons are naturally repelled by such life force. Satisfied that the boy poses no threat, the principal declares that the real show is only beginning and signals for their departure. Wrapped in a swirling vortex of green wind magic, the two figures vanish instantly. By the next morning, a crowd of new students has gathered at the Academy's training grounds. They are filled with confusion and annoyance, loudly complaining about yet another test after surviving the grueling interviews and instructor selections. The atmosphere is thick with frustration, as the students had expected their actual classes to commence immediately. Lin Feng stands silently amidst the chaos, listening to a boastful student claim to have secret information on the test, while refusing to share a single word. A pink-haired instructor suddenly demands absolute silence, acknowledging the confusion regarding this sudden, unexpected examination. She then drops a bombshell. The demon offensive has intensified, placing the city's outer defenses in grave peril. The Academy must now deploy its students to the front lines without delay. Panic erupts as students cry out that they came to learn, not to die in a war. The instructor sternly warns that if the fortress falls, the city is doomed. This is a mandatory conscription to ensure the survival of humanity itself. Within the trembling crowd, Ying looks visibly shaken as a young boy beside her calls out in a nervous, cracking voice. Lin Feng remains perfectly calm, standing with his hands in his pockets. Ying steals a glance at him with a faint blush, worried that someone so remarkable might be drafted first. The instructor barks an order for all freshmen to proceed to the arena for their combat evaluations. As he walks, Lin Feng reasons that a humble farmer won't be prioritized for the front lines, which suits his peaceful plans perfectly. Once in the arena, a female student sneers at Lin Feng's humble title, mockingly asking if a spirit farm lord is only capable of hiding in the dirt. She strikes an arrogant pose and threatens to incinerate him, She unleashes a torrent of fire, but Lin Feng dodges with ease, mocking her slow speed and weak flames that couldn't even roast a potato. Enraged by the stinging insult, the girl's face turns bright red. She begins a dramatic, rhythmic chant to summon a powerful flame spirit. Lin Feng simply stands there, watching with an indifferent gaze as she continues her lengthy, dramatic incantation. Suddenly, he interrupts the spell with a swift punch to her gut, criticizing her dangerously long casting time. The girl is sent flying out of the arena, and Lin Feng is declared the victor. After a series of effortless wins, Lin Feng decides he has done enough to pass. He plans to throw the next match to avoid drawing any further unwanted attention. Vera, the legendary nature archmage, approaches Lin Feng directly following his impressive display of skill. She hands him a bottle of water and praises his performance, telling him that a talent like his deserves a far more prestigious stage. Lin Feng looks at her with pure confusion, wondering what she means by a higher platform. Vera insists he must earn credits to enter the illustrious Sunhei Academy. She tempts him with elite martial techniques, world-class instructors, and divine weapons. Yet, Lin Feng remains completely unimpressed by her offer. He politely declines, stating he has no use for such treasures, a response that leaves Vera standing in utter disbelief. Vera is shaken to her core by his refusal. She demands to know what he could possibly desire if not power or legendary artifacts. With a tranquil smile, Lin Feng reveals his true ambition, a massive plot of land to farm in peace. A bewildered Vera begs him to clarify. She presses him further, assuming the farm is just a stepping stone. "What is your ultimate goal after the harvest?" she asks. Lin Feng explains his dream is simply to expand his fields for everyone. Vera misinterprets this as a heroic vow to reclaim human lands from the demon tribe. The principal interjects, pointing out that Lin Feng is already transforming the treacherous western wasteland into fertile soil. He questions the boy skeptically, asking if that enormous territory still isn't enough to satisfy his hunger for land. Lin Feng chuckles like a simple peasant, noting that for a farmer, there is no such thing as too much land. Suddenly, the system announces his next duel. It is Lin Feng versus Yi Lin. With a confident grin, he prepares to face the girl he once helped as the principal commends his honesty. Still blinded by her own misunderstanding of his grand ambition, Vera suggests they grant him every inch of land he desires. The principal shoots Vera a knowing look. He realizes she has been completely charmed by the student and plans to recruit him personally. Vera remarks that Lin Feng is a truly fascinating youth. As the match begins, Yi Lin stands ready, never imagining she would face him. Her gaze turns deadly serious. She declares that she will show no mercy and will strike with her full, overwhelming power. Lin Feng, however, just smiles. He tries to de-escalate by lying that he cannot win and will surrender, but Yi Lin takes it as a mockery. Infuriated by his perceived arrogance, she lets out a battle cry and charges at blinding speeds. Lin Feng's relaxed expression finally tightens. He groans in frustration. Why is she unleashing her ultimate form instead of just letting him forfeit the match in peace? Forced to defend, Lin Feng summons his nature magic, causing vibrant green energy to explode. Thick, ancient vines surge from the earth to bind Yi Lin, but Yi Lin proves her elite strength. With a fierce twist and a devastating kick, she shatters the emerald restraints to regain her freedom. From the sidelines, Vera is paralyzed with shock. She asks the principal how a student below level 10 can possess such flawlessly pure mana. He confirms his own astonishment. Vera realizes even a level 80 nature master lacks his purity, predicting his future potential is truly infinite. Within the arena, the spectacle intensifies as Yi Lin's searing fire magic clashes violently against Lin Feng's relentless, living vines. Witnessing this divine display of power, Vera makes a life-changing decision. She doesn't want to be his mentor, she wants him as her master. The principal, thinking he misheard her, agrees it is a grand idea for her to teach him. Vera quickly snaps back to correct him. She clarifies the shocking truth. She wants to be his student. The principal stares in horror, asking if the demons have fried her brain. Vera wears an obsessive, wide-eyed grin. Even if her mind is gone, she is determined to serve as his humble disciple. In the heat of battle, Lin Feng moves like a phantom. He effortlessly evades Yi Lin's ferocious strikes, appearing as a mere blur to the crowd. Yi Lin pushes her assault to the limit, clashing with him repeatedly. Yet, Lin Feng dances through her lethal attacks with supernatural ease. Having displayed enough agility, Lin Feng decides to fake a blunder. He needs to lose now to maintain his quiet, low-profile life. However, the principal's voice booms with a warning: if he throws the match, the Academy will revoke his precious Western land rights. Lin Feng freezes in absolute terror. At the thought of losing his farm, his eyes ignite with a terrifying ancient blue magical radiance. He refuses to let them take his soil. Yi Lin shudders as she feels a sudden, suffocating shift in his primal aura. Realizing the true fight has begun, Lin Feng gathers a mountainous amount of nature mana. swirling a jade vortex around his fists. Yi Lin is staggered by the sudden, crushing pressure. In a panic, she hurls a massive, incinerating fireball directly at his chest. Instead of retreating, Lin Feng punches the very earth. The resulting shockwave is so powerful it tears the fireball into nothingness. He roars Serious Punch and charges through the billowing smoke and cinders like an unstoppable force of nature toward her. His fist erupts with blinding verdant energy. Yi Lin watches with wide, terrified eyes as the overwhelming power of a god closes in. When the dust settles, Lin Feng stands victorious. He offers a humble smile, telling Yi Lin she simply let him win to hide his strength. The spectators sit in a stunned, heavy silence. Whispers begin to spread. Has this simple farmer been a hidden monster all along? One student jokes that he looks more like a commoner than the winner. Meanwhile, Vera's sharp eyes analyze every detail of his movements. Mesmerized, she notes his control over nature is close to the divine origin. The match ends, and Lin Feng is officially declared the champion. He reaches out a hand to help the fallen Yi Lin up. She takes it with a deep blush, her heart racing uncontrollably. She graciously accepts her defeat, acknowledging his terrifying strength. Lin Feng continues to play dumb, claiming it was just lucky brute force. But the moment he turns away from the cheering crowd, his humble, simple facade finally begins to drop. He wipes his brow, breathing a sigh of relief for his precious land. The principal approaches with a satisfied smirk, praising Lin Feng's performance. Standing tall, the principal regains his dignity. Lin Feng thanks him for the mercy, while the principal encourages his growth. But as Lin Feng turns away, his face darkens with annoyance. He curses the old man for threatening his livelihood, vowing to repay him for this immense stress. Later, strolling through the campus, Lin Feng minds his own business until he senses a strange ripple in space. Suddenly, a girl in a flowing green dress emerges from a blinding flash of emerald light. With a polite smile, she asks Lin Feng to guide her in her cultivation path. Confused, Lin Feng asks why a combat elite would seek help from a mere farmer. The girl introduces herself as Vera. She witnessed his match and was captivated by his mastery over natural mana, hoping his path could inspire her own. Lin Feng politely declines, suggesting she wait for the master instructors rather than seeking guidance from a fellow student. Vera refuses to back down, insisting that true skill transcends any title. She only wishes to visit his fields occasionally to observe and learn from him. Bowing deeply, she offers to do farm chores just for a taste of his aura. Lin Feng panics, fearing his mutated crops might be discovered. He maintains his cover, claiming his victory was just raw strength and that he has nothing to teach. Suddenly, the principal appears. He places a firm hand on Lin Feng's shoulder, pressuring the boy to accept for his sake. Leaning in, the principal whispers a cold, sharp threat directly into Lin Feng's ear. Shock washes over Lin Feng as he realizes he's trapped. Defeated, he sighs and agrees, leaving Vera absolutely overjoyed. Radiating happiness, she thanks him profusely, promising not to be a burden. She excitedly grabs his arm, asking to head out immediately. Blushing, Lin Feng leads her toward the city's western outskirts. At the farm, Vera dons farming gear to prove her dedication. Wary, Lin Feng knows he must keep her away from the greenhouse. He gestures toward the outdoor fields, telling her to familiarize herself with the environment first. Claiming he needs to tend to seedlings, he retreats into the greenhouse alone while Vera begins her analysis. She is stunned. Even these outdoor plants are high-grade, thriving on the purest natural mana imaginable. Her cheeks flush as she thinks of Lin Feng, her curiosity growing with every discovery she makes. An hour passes, and Vera is found kneeling on the ground, lost in deep focus. Examining a handful of soil, her eyes widen in disbelief. Even the dirt itself is brimming with high-level energy. Lin Feng notices her staring and asks if something is wrong. She asks if he uses any special enhancements on this soil. He insists it's just regular soil, smiling helplessly while explaining that a poor farmer like him can't afford expensive fertilizers. He points to a withered sprout, claiming his crops are likely starving. Vera stares at the plant, determined. Since his mana is so extraordinary, she decides she must help him solve this nutrient crisis. She brightly mentions a school policy where dungeon materials can be traded for premium items at the academy warehouse. Upon hearing this, Lin Feng grabs her shoulders, his eyes sparkling with pure excitement. She explains he can obtain high-grade Earth Pulse fertilizer by trading the chieftain's fang from the level 10 Gloom Forest, though it usually requires a full team. She warns him to move fast, as the rule might be revoked very soon. Seeing a path to free fertilizer, Lin Feng grins, declaring he's heading out right now. As he sprints away with his hoe, Vera watches in admiration, believing only a pure heart could produce such mana. Standing before the level 10 Gloom Forest, Lin Feng stares into the swirling depths of a purple portal. Nearby, students mock him, laughing at the farmer bringing a hoe. Someone recognizes the level 8 freshman, calling him suicidal for attempting such a high-level dungeon. Ignoring the insults, Lin Feng approaches the administrators and boldly demands a solo entry into the forest. The administrator grows worried, warning that his level is far too low for such a reckless risk. Lin Feng confidently cites the academy rules that allow any student to apply, leaving the admin shocked by his knowledge. Behind him, Vera signals with a finger to her lips, silently admitting she helped him find the loophole. The administrator sighs and approves, sternly warning him to retreat if the monsters prove to be too much. Lin Feng walks into the portal, fully aware that the elite students watching him think he's a total idiot. As Lin Feng enters the portal, his peers sneer in the shadows. "Just die in there," one mutters, calling him a pathetic disgrace to the academy. Deep within the gloom forest, a pack of hungry wolves emerges from the mist, encircling Lin Feng. Unfazed, he summons his elite spirits, He Xiao and Yu Ya. With a flick of his wrist, the undead sage Yu Ya casts a spell, trapping the beasts in shimmering magical spheres. Simultaneously, the undead hound He Xiao strikes with shadowy martial arts, effortlessly blasting the creatures aside. Lin Feng approaches a fallen wolf, his palm glowing with eerie purple light. "Rise," he commands, channeling his necromantic authority. The beast's corpse twitches and transforms into a small, surprisingly adorable cobalt undead that looks completely harmless. Pushing to the heart of the dungeon, Lin Feng finally stands before the final boss, the massive Shadowfall Cobalt Chieftain. He lets out a bored yawn, unimpressed by the towering threat. "Finish it," he orders his spirits with a casual wave. The chieftain bellows a war cry, raising a blood-red blade for a devastating, bone-crushing strike. But He Xiao is faster. A single, soul-shattering punch connects, unleashing a beam of purple energy that sends the giant boss hurtling through the air. One hit, that's all it took. The boss crashes into the earth, defeated, as a system window confirms his absolute victory. Notification: boss defeated. Lin Feng reaches level 9 and claims the rare chieftain's fang. He attempts to resurrect the fallen boss, but a cold prompt denies him. His current level is far too low to claim such a powerful soul. Staring at the glowing fang, Lin Feng sighs in disappointment. It's a shame he can't add this monster to his legion just yet. He quickly recovers, noting that his primary goal, obtaining the ingredient for his legendary fertilizer, is complete. "Mission accomplished," he mutters, satisfied. Now, it's time to head back and claim his prize. He steps through the exit portal, leaving the forest behind. Outside, an official nervously questions Vera about the trade. He's hesitant to waste precious academy resources on a single student when the front lines are starving for supplies. Vera remains calm, her voice steady. "It's only soil fertilizer for the nature department," she explains. "Hardly a strategic loss." The official exhales in relief. If it's just dirt booster, they have more than enough in the warehouse to spare. Suddenly, a public announcement roars through the square. Solo first clear, rank SSS. A legendary heroic spirit fragment has been awarded. The silence is deafening, followed immediately by the bitter sting of pure jealousy from the watching students. "A farmer got an SSS rank?" They scream in outrage. "He's cheating. This has to be a scam." The mob's fury boils over as they demand an investigation, refusing to believe a level 8 farmer could solo a level 10 dungeon. Watching from the side, Vera touches her lip, a spark of intrigue in her eyes. "I truly underestimated you, Lin Feng," she whispers. Emerging from the portal, Lin Feng finds himself walking straight into a wall of hostile faces and mounting tension. He scratches his head in genuine confusion. Who did I piss off this time? He wonders, looking at the angry crowd. He's completely oblivious to the storm his success has caused. Outside the gloom forest, the chaos only intensifies. Lin Feng stands at the center of the commotion, still trying to process the sudden, overwhelming hostility. He steps forward to turn in his resources, simply wishing to follow the Academy's official rules for the exchange. "Stop right there," a student in a white headband roars, accusing him of fraud and demanding his rewards be confiscated. However, the teacher steps in, silencing the arrogant student with a single, sharp look. The dungeon itself granted these rewards, the teacher explains calmly. The Academy has no authority to take them back. Refusing to back down, the headband student sneers and proposes a resource wager challenge. It's a high-stakes speedrun duel supervised by the staff. The winner takes every reward from both sides, leaving the loser with nothing. Lin Feng isn't interested in their games. He turns his back, his expression one of pure, cold indifference. "There's no benefit for me," he tells the man in the suit. "This whole idea is just boring." Panicking as his target walks away, the student screams out a final offer, a rare blueprint for the legendary Lamp of Nature. Vera's eyes widen. She leans in close to Lin Feng, her voice urgent. "You must win that blueprint, no matter what." She explains that the Lamp of Nature is a growth-type artifact, an extremely rare treasure exclusive to the Nature Department. Its power is legendary. It slashes crop growth cycles significantly, with absolutely zero negative side effects. Sensing he finally has Lin Feng's attention, The student smirks mockingly, trying to hide his desperation. "What's wrong, hillbilly? Too scared to lose your little farm?" He taunts, while secretly tapping a message on his phone. The screen reveals a dark truth. This entire challenge is a calculated trap set by a senior named He-Ru. The student was ordered to stall Lin Feng at any cost, even if it meant betting his family's most precious heirloom. Lin Feng weighs his options. He cannot expose his forbidden necromancer path, but deceiving a single supervisor? That is a gamble he can win. His mind set on that farming tool, Lin Feng turns back with a sharp smirk. "Challenge accepted," he declares, his confidence radiating. The arrogant student with the white headband erupts into mocking laughter. He is certain Lin Feng is a total fraud. To him, the supervisor's presence means the cheater is finally finished. The scene shifts to the level 10 dungeon, Gloom Forest. The air is heavy as the trial begins, overseen by the supervisor. This teacher, actually Vera's hidden subordinate, narrows his eyes. He demands to know how Lin Feng cleared such a nightmare alone. Lin Feng just gives a confident grin. "Why explain," he counters, "when I can simply show you what I am capable of?" Magic flares to life. A violent swirl of emerald energy erupts as he calls forth his so-called farmhands to the field. A titanic, glowing green silhouette suddenly towers behind him. It is a brilliant deception, masking his dark necromancy under the vibrant guise of legendary nature magic. Vera's spy is paralyzed with shock. The summoning speed is insane, and the aura from these troops is utterly overwhelming. The teacher watches like a hawk. He needs to dissect every move to understand how this boy achieved an impossible solo clear. With a sharp gesture, Lin Feng commands the kill. Instantly, a pack of feral wolves lunges from the shadows, hungry for blood. But Lin Feng's demonic horned bear is already moving. Cloaked in the fake spirit farmlord aura, the beast steps forward to intercept the charging monsters. It unleashes a brutal flurry of punches. Each strike triggers a green explosion, vaporizing the attacking monsters in a single heartbeat. The carnage escalates as the elite summons cut loose. Zhuo, the undead sage, weaves a deadly barrage of explosive green orbs. Beside him, the undead hound, He Xiao, takes center stage. He channels raw energy into his palms, firing devastating beams of light that rain down on the surrounding enemies. The earth shatters under the magical bombardment. The supervisor watches, his jaw dropping at the sheer scale of the destruction. It is over in seconds. A level-matched Cobalt patrol squad was wiped from existence in less than a single minute. Lin Feng stands casually amidst the smoldering remains, looking as bored as if he were just pulling garden weeds. The teacher is drenched in a cold sweat. This power is terrifying. He wonders if it belongs to a legendary special class. Lin Feng turns back calmly. Patrol cleared. Now, I am heading in to pay the boss a little visit. Suddenly, a rift tears open. From the dark void emerges a masked Cobalt boss, its blades gleaming with murderous intent. The beast roars, charging with primal fury. But Lin Feng does not flinch. He is already calmly issuing his next commands. He orders Xiangda, his massive hornbearer, to take the vanguard. "Shields up! Advance!" he barks, positioning his team to crush any Cobalt reinforcements trying to strike from the flanks. The battle reaches its peak as He Xiao, the undead hound, unleashes a blinding pillar of concentrated green energy. But the spirit is not done. He blurs across the battlefield, closing the gap with incredible, supernatural speed. A colossal spectral arm materializes from the aura. It delivers a crushing blow to the Cobalt boss, smashing it with overwhelming force. The impact sends tremors through the entire cavern, spiderwebbing the ground beneath the boss's broken, defeated form. The supervisor is trembling now. Witnessing such raw, destructive potential is enough to chill anyone to the bone. This student is a walking war machine. The supervisor realizes he must report this terrifying anomaly to the principal immediately. As the boss collapses, Lin Feng casually dismisses his summons. The Titan's corpse lies silent at the young farmer's feet. Standing amidst the ruins, the supervisor feels small, utterly eclipsed by the monstrous power Lin Feng just displayed. Lin Feng glances back with a confident grin. "So, is that enough proof for you?" The teacher nods quickly, his voice shaking. Lin Feng has proven himself beyond any doubt, leaving the man visibly intimidated. With the trial over, the supervisor prepares to exit, but he notices the young man is not following him out. Lin Feng just waves him away. "Go on ahead. I want to enjoy the view now that my name is cleared." The teacher exits, leaving a warning about the reset. Alone at last, Lin Feng approaches the fallen Cobalt boss. This is what he truly came for. The level is finally high enough to test the limits of his resurrection skill. He kneels by the corpse, finally letting his dark, suffocating necromancer energy flood the empty chamber. Purple lightning crackles through the air as his expression turns cold. "Arise," he commands the fallen monster. A sinister violet glow consumes the body. The boss's soul is reconstructed, rising once more as a powerful shadow spirit. The beast kneels before its new master. Moments later, Lin Feng emerges from the portal, looking completely composed and untouched after the battle. Outside, the gathered students watch him in stunned silence. The group that bet against him panics, realizing they have lost everything. Fearing Lin Feng's retribution for their mockery, they scramble to escape the scene. Vera's subordinate stands beside her as she remains disguised. He formally declares Lin Feng's victory and presents the rewards, including the blueprint scroll case and a massive bag of resources. Lin Feng notices the challengers have vanished. Vera smiles, explaining that after the teacher verified his triumph, the cowards simply lost their nerve. The students who made the wager knew they were beaten. They abandoned the promised prizes and fled in absolute disgrace. Lin Feng is thrilled, hoisting his winnings and calling them high-quality fertilizer for his precious farm. While Lin Feng celebrates his victory, Vera's subordinate hands her a recording stone of the fight, suggesting she analyze the boy's terrifying abilities when she has a private moment. Elsewhere, a heavy fist slams down with bone-shattering force. Inside the Sun He Academy training room, He-Ru vents his fury on a picture of Lin Feng. A nervous student watches from the shadows while He-Ru screams about the humiliation of being outperformed by a mere, lowly farmer. He-Ru slumps down in frustration. Wiping sweat away, he realizes that neither brute strength nor school regulations can touch Lin Feng for the time being. However, a wicked scheme forms as he notes Lin Feng's heavy reliance on nature magic and summoned creatures. He hands a letter to his lackey, ordering it sent immediately to the front lines to reach his uncle's military account. He-Ru clarifies the command. His uncle must recall the Nature Department mentors currently deployed at the battlefield back to the academy instantly. The student looks deeply confused at the order, asking if He-Ru plans to use those powerful mentors to suppress Lin Feng. He-Ru smirks, explaining that those stubborn traditionalists demand absolute purity in nature magic and will surely despise Lin Feng's bizarre, unorthodox combat methods. Meanwhile, in her private quarters, Vera relaxes on her bed while rewatching the recording of the dungeon confrontation. She is left breathless, thinking Lin Feng is a true monster whose control over nature has become pure instinct. Resolving not to wait, she decides to write her own letter summoning the old masters back to campus. A messenger bird takes flight, carrying her secret letter into the clouds. She remains in awe, convinced that Lin Feng's natural power is no longer magic, but a terrifying instinct. For days, Lin Feng haunts the dungeon, slaughtering high-level giant wolves. He completely dominates the zone, treating the dangerous labyrinth like his own living room. He moves with predatory grace, his confidence growing with every kill as he climbs the dungeon's official leaderboard. Lin Feng secures the top rank with a record time of 10 minutes 28 seconds. He has achieved a perfect clear multiple times, leaving the observing students caught between awe and boredom. They gossip about how he treats the dungeon like a backyard, complaining that his cold efficiency makes for a dull show. After his session, Lin Feng visits the exchange officer, trading a mountain of monster materials for a heavy supply of fertilizer. The officer notes that Lin Feng's credits are finally high enough for a promotion. He advises him to apply for the upper academy, as the lower ranks can no longer offer him any challenge. Lin Feng is genuinely surprised. The staff member details the system, the lower academy for basics, and the Sun He Academy for true elites. He adds that the Sun He Academy offers far superior rewards, making it the only logical place for a genius like him. Lin Feng mulls over the name Sun He, realizing better resources translate directly into better farming. He smiles with absolute confidence, thanking the teacher as his next objective becomes crystal clear. Lin Feng arrives at the mission hall, crossing the high walkway to reach the reception desk. He's here to apply for his elite promotion. He presents his credit voucher for official verification. The screen flashes his profile, revealing a staggering total of 30,035 credits in the Nature Department. The hall erupts in whispers. One student recognizes him as the legendary Big Shot, who relentlessly grinded the Gloom Forest for those credits. After confirming the data, the receptionist hands him the promotion mission. Once completed, he will officially ascend to the upper academy. Gripping the scroll, Lin Feng asks if this promotion finally unlocks the path to gold-grade resources. The receptionist confirms that promotion grants access to rare gold and platinum supplies. Lin Feng smiles, his eyes burning with newfound ambition. Lin Feng exits the hall, plotting his next move. The mission zone lies right on the city's defensive perimeter. But first, a vital component is required. He slips through the academy's silent corridors, ensuring no shadows follow his trail. Within the armory, a hulking figure hands Lin Feng the legendary Lamp of Nature. This silver-grade relic rivals gold-tier power, the man warns. Keep it pure, never let necrotic energy tarnish its light. Lin Feng accepts the glowing green lantern with a grateful smile. Stepping outside, his eyes scan for any prying eyes. He vanishes into the dense thickets. Despite the stern warning, he can't resist staring deep into the artifact's core. A dark curiosity takes hold. Defying orders, Lin Feng floods the lamp with both nature mana and necrotic power. Emerald nature, magic, and violet death energy collide in a violent swirl. The reaction is instantaneous and haunting. A massive skeletal phantom looms behind him as the crystal warps into a bone-framed artifact wreathed in dark purple flames. Lin Feng gazes at the mutated item. The relic has evolved from life-giving nature into an undead conduit. Suddenly, residual pulses cause the flora to erupt. Panic flares as he realizes the sheer scale of the disturbance. He scrambles to conceal the artifact, lungs burning. With a shaky hand, he wipes cold sweat from his brow. Luckily, the artifact's sentience allows him to mask it back, sparing him from having to give impossible explanations. Later, at his secluded farmstead, a casual Lin Feng suspends the restored lamp from the greenhouse rafters. He stands back, watching the crystal hover. A gentle, verdant radiance begins to bathe the soil below. The transformation is breathtaking. The cabbages surge upward, their leaves unfurling toward the light with supernatural speed. Lin Feng's expression turns solemn. This level of forced growth on a first attempt is nothing short of terrifying. Determination fuels him. He dons his gear, resolved to crush his promotion mission and unlock the Academy's ultimate treasures. As he departs, a lingering spirit stares at the floating relic in utter bewilderment. It is Yuya, the undead sage. The spectral figure reaches out, meticulously analyzing the pulsating source of magic. Lin Feng arrives at the desolate watchtower. The crumbling pink stone looms through the thick, eerie mist. He stands before the ruin, confirming this is indeed the stage for his promotion trial. Visibility is near zero, demanding absolute stealth. But his keen eyes catch something: fresh tracks pressed into the dirt. He kneels to examine the prints. Someone was here recently. But who would venture into this wasteland? A flash of movement catches his eye. High on the balcony, two men in suits are frantically searching. One shouts in triumph. They were sent by their master to sabotage the mission and ensure Lin Feng's downfall. His partner sneers, suggesting they simply destroy the prize. Without hesitation, he hurls the mission objective over the edge. A heavy tome tumbles through the air. Without this book, your mission ends here, he bellows into the mist. But before it strikes the earth, Lin Feng blurs into motion, snatching the book from the sky. He looks up with a predatory grin. Should I thank you for finding it? The saboteurs freeze in pure horror. Chaos erupts on the balcony as they panic. The leader delivers a stinging slap, roaring for his partner to reclaim the item. They leap down, charging Lin Feng. Lin Feng remains unfazed. With a flick of his wrist, jagged spikes erupt from the earth, sealing their path. Massive, emerald vines burst forth, weaving an impenetrable wall of nature's wrath around him. The vines strike like vipers, plucking the men from midair and binding them tight. In seconds, the battle is over. Lin Feng stands tall, staring them down. His voice is cold as ice as he demands a full explanation. A chilling smile plays on his lips as he forces a confession. By sunset, he's back at his farm. Rage simmers in his eyes. The captives finally talked. Hiru was the puppet master behind this ambush. He paces his grounds, frustrated. Hiru is a persistent problem, and these constant attacks risk exposing his necromancer identity. A permanent solution is needed. Suddenly, Lin Feng freezes, his eyes widening at a strange sight. His elite spirit, Yuya, stands tall, holding a red flag and the pulsating lamp of nature. To his utter shock, the undead sage is using the flag to command the entire legion of summons. A demonic bear hauls a cart while lizards till soil under the lamp's glow. Lin Feng stares at his organized army. A slow grin spreads across his face. Thanks to Yuya and the relic, his farm is now fully automated. Inside Hiru's chamber, a panicked lackey delivers grim news. The two scouts sent to the watchtower have vanished, leaving only lingering mana traces. Consumed by fury, Hiru slams his fist into the stone wall with explosive force. He bellows at his trembling subordinate, cursing his men as useless trash for failing such a simple mission. His face contorts with malice as Hiru glares at his reflection, wrongly convinced that Lin Feng murdered his scouts. He is shocked a mere student would dare slay his people. Deciding to escalate the conflict, Hiru turns to his subordinate. He commands his lackey to hire the Shadow Eclipse assassins, placing the highest bounty on Lin Feng's head. Then, a dark realization hits. Piecing together the recent disappearances, Hiru becomes certain that Lin Feng was also responsible for Tuka's death. At the Sunshine Academy Mission Hall, an official congratulates Lin Feng on his admission and presents him with a welcome package. The man hands Lin Feng his brand new academy uniform and a shimmering student identification plate. Lin Feng grins, eager to farm credits for his cultivation experiments. Shortly after, he makes his way to the level 10 Gloom Forest. He presents his nameplate to the guard and requests a solo run, but he is met with an unexpected refusal. Stunned by the rejection, Lin Feng asks why a solo entry is no longer permitted. The guard explains that new regulations bar upper house students from low-level dungeons to preserve resources for weaker juniors. Lin Feng stands frozen, realizing his primary source for farming essential resources has just been cut off. As Lin Feng departs in frustration, the guard sighs in relief, fearing the boy would have looted their entire supply stock. While wandering the forest path, Lin Feng ponders his next move. Suddenly, a stranger intercepts him, asking if he is the new junior. It is a spiky-haired young man named Luo, casually leaning back with a cigarette in his mouth. Luo notices Lin Feng's dilemma and mentions that his squad is looking for one more member for a gathering mission. Lin Feng finds this encounter far too convenient. Luo throws an arm around his shoulder, urging him to experience the higher dungeons. Lin Feng carefully weighs his options. Desperate for credits and unfamiliar with the terrain, he concludes that a simple collection mission is worth the risk. He agrees, and a grinning Luo leads him to the gate, where two other teammates await by the glowing blue crystals. Luo introduces Yu Bei and the massive Carter before laying out their primary objective. They must gather 10 stalks of moonlight grass while avoiding any contact with the patrolling night elves. The party steps through the azure portal, moving stealthily through the eerie silence of the Shadow Woods. They soon locate the luminous moonlight grass. As Luo harvests the herbs, he marvels at how smoothly the mission is progressing. But as they pass through ancient ruins, a sudden gale rises, and a swarm of insectoid creatures launches a lethal ambush. Luo recognizes the threat as a night elf patrol, and roars for the team to take their battle stances. A night elf shrieks, unleashing beams of purple energy. Luo steps forward, his weapon spinning to deflect the incoming barrage. He barks orders, telling Lin Feng to utilize nature magic to exploit the night elf's elemental weakness. Lin Feng focuses, channeling his energy to send a surge of emerald vines erupting toward the flying foes. The vines ensnare the elves, locking them in place before Lin Feng slams the monsters into the earth with crushing force. Suddenly, Luo's blade flashes with dark energy, severing Lin Feng's vines in a single treacherous stroke. With their control broken, Luo fakes a panic, shouting that reinforcements are coming as he signals Carter and Yu Bei to act. Yu Bei wears a cruel smirk, while Carter offers a cold, silent nod of confirmation. Carter drives a massive mechanical totem into the soil, triggering a violent, earth-shaking shockwave. The ground shatters beneath Lin Feng, forming a massive abyss. He barely manages to catch the crumbling ledge as the earth vanishes. Dangling by a single hand, he looks up at his allies and realizes the terrifying truth of their betrayal. Luo sneers down from the edge, mockingly claiming that Carter's clumsy aim was a mere unfortunate accident. When Lin Feng asks for help, Luo's friendly facade finally shatters, replaced by a gaze of pure, murderous intent. Their story is simple. The arrogant newcomer wandered off alone, and they were simply too late to save him. Strangely calm, Lin Feng asks if they fear the consequences of murder. Luo just laughs, confident in his perfect cover-up. They intend to imprint an elite monster's mana signature onto his nameplate to fabricate a convincing death. Lin Feng asks if any traces will remain. Luo arrogantly boasts of their expertise in making students disappear forever. Lin Feng replies with a chillingly calm expression. Without a shred of fear, Lin Feng releases his grip and plunges into the abyss. He falls backward, his posture completely relaxed as he embraces the void. Ron erupts in laughter, assuming the boy chose a quick death over torture. But his mockery instantly turns to pure shock as he witnesses the impossible. To their absolute horror, Lin Feng halts mid-air, levitating amidst a swirl of malevolent dark energy. "Are you ready?" he asks, his voice chilling. With shadows dancing across his face, Lin Feng summons his Nightmare Legion. Ron, Yub, and Carter panic as the hunters suddenly become the hunted. Monstrous shadows loom over them. The trio is instantly surrounded by the towering, terrifying forms of Haishao, Yuya, and the Cobalt Undead. Yuya mockingly forms a heart with her hands, a playful gesture, before unleashing a cataclysmic blast of raw magical energy. "A necromancer," Ron stammers, paralyzed by the sight of a forbidden class. Emerging from the smoke unscathed, Lin Feng asks if Ron has any final words. Utterly outmatched, Ron collapses to his knees. He desperately shifts the blame to Haru, begging for mercy while claiming he has no personal grudge. Lin Feng watches with cold, indifferent eyes. He knows Ron isn't truly repentant, he's just terrified of the cold hand of death. Desperate, Ron offers to testify about Tuka's death to save his skin. Yet, when Lin Feng presses him, the traitor clearly has no idea who Tuka is. Seeing the pathetic, nervous sweat on Ron's face, Lin Feng realizes he's dealing with a worthless pawn who knows absolutely nothing useful. Losing all interest, Lin Feng coldly orders his legion to bury them. He casually plugs his ears just before a massive magical explosion annihilates the traitors. Moments later, 3 broken bodies lie motionless. With his final, ragged breath, Ron curses Lin Feng, wishing him a slow and agonizing death. Completely unfazed, Lin Feng plants his boot firmly on Ron's face. "Don't worry," he sneers. "My legendary days are only just beginning. Rise," he commands, channeling his forbidden power. Eerie purple flames consume the corpses, transforming them into loyal undead warriors who kneel before their master. Lin Feng studies his newest servants, wondering if these human-turned-undead possess higher intelligence than the mindless monsters he usually harvests. He retrieves their shattered nameplates, noting with satisfaction that the recording mechanisms have been destroyed beyond any hope of repair. He decides to report their deaths as a tragic accident. Satisfied with the plan, he turns toward the blue portal to exit the dungeon, but as he reaches for the light, a shimmering invisible barrier knocks him back. Confusion washes over him. Why is the gate refusing to open? A system alert blares. Regret of the past has been triggered. The exit is sealed until the dungeon is cleared, and all attributes are boosted by 200%. As Lin Feng processes the warning, a suffocating wave of dark energy erupts from the depths of the forest behind him. The ground trembles beneath heavy, rhythmic hoofbeats. Lin Feng turns, his face pale with shock, as a massive armored knight on a black warhorse emerges. Cloaked in crackling purple lightning and a murderous aura, the knight blocks his path. The real nightmare has only just begun.